Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gaming Top Down Podcast, a weekly podcast all about board games. I love board games. We play a lot of games. I have a lot of them on the shelves behind me that I try to play as often as I can. And I meet every week with my brother to talk about them, my brother Devin. Devin, how are you on this wonderful Saturday?
I'm doing fantastic. It is a wonderful Saturday. I got a lot of sleep. Football has started, which is always exciting. Although I am at the point where I don't care anymore. It's gone for me.
I was at that point 30 years ago on football.
I think it was about 3 years ago I said, no more. I don't care who wins. Let's just have a good game. I don't know.
I think my issue with football is there are too many players. It's hard for me to like remember who they are, other than, quarterbacks kind of get all the hype, really, or like maybe a running back or a wide receiver sometimes, but
If
usually
they're
a quarterback.
good, yes.
I'm in a fantasy football league with my ward. It's the first
Really?
time I've ever done one.
I've never done it.
It's hilarious. I actually keep on accident calling it to my friends, so how's the Final Fantasy League going? So you can
That'd
tell
be a league I'd rather be in.
what my hobbies are more than fantasy football. But we had on Wednesday, I think, we had a draft. Have you ever done fantasy football?
No.
So you sign up, we're just doing a free league in the neighborhood. And then they have like a draft period, and you have 40 seconds to choose your next player. So everybody, we just did it from our own homes, but we're like texting each other, and you're just on your own app, and it gives you those 40 seconds and shows you just the big list of players, and you pick what one you want for your team, and you pick like 15 times. It cycles through everybody a bunch. Of the, I don't know how many, 15, 16 players I chose, I only knew one of them by name. Joe Burrow.
Oh, heck yeah.
Other than him, never heard of the rest of the people in my life. But after the draft was done, my friend who's in charge of the league sent like this AI analysis of everyone's teams over to us.
Right.
And it graded us all from like American school grading, A to F. And most people got Fs, D minuses, Ds. I think there was one C. And then sitting lone at the top, me with an A plus, baby.
Oh, really?
It thinks I'm going to go 14-0.
Really?
I don't know why. Because again, I was just choosing. I just filtered them based on like their recommended players. And then I was like, okay, I think I want like 3 or 4 wide receivers and 3 or 4 running backs, 2 kickers, 2 quarterbacks, a defense. And so when it came to me, I just chose the next one that looked good.
Yeah. Yep. Just chose
So
the recommended.
Yeah, basically. Sometimes the recommended like had a little note by it that said like coming back from injury or like might not play a little bit because of injury. And so I didn't pick those people, obviously. But so I don't know. We'll see. It would be really, I think it would make me happy if I lost every game just so that we stuck it to the AI and we're like, you weren't right.
Oh yeah. You don't love AI. You're on the fence about it.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of, it's handy for some things. Like if I'm like, for our small business here, like I use it sometimes, like help with like ideas for shorts or like for idea generation. Man, it can spit out ideas so fast, which is very valuable. But I'm not like a huge fan of like AI taking people's jobs and taking away all the fun and art out of the world. But that's a conversation for another day. Fantasy football. And I guess real football, Devin. Are you still on Team Dolphin?
Yeah, I'll probably always just like the Miami Dolphins, just because I have since I was very young. But I just don't care. I got enough other stuff to think about. I don't care who wins that game. I watched the Cowboys-Eagles game. I think it was the first game of the year on Thursday. And before the game started, an Eagles lineman walks towards the group of Cowboys, and the Cowboys quarterback looks at him and spits, and the lineman walks up to him and spits on his chest, and the lineman gets kicked out of the game. I was just like, I'm watching grown men spit at each other.
Yeah.
I was like, they are impressive. Once they start playing and they're trying hard, like they're all trying to win, like they're very athletic and
they are.
It's cool, but I just don't care.
Yeah, they're big, strong, scary men.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very violent sport. I think I also agree. I think it's very impressive. And watching like top level football players play, very, very impressive. But I think the sport is a little slow, in my opinion. Like you got like a 50-second clock between each play. Like, man, you can burn. And that clock strategy becomes very important at the end of most games.
Mm-hmm.
And just in a single like possession, you can burn like 7 minutes or something. Like if you are just moving up the field slowly, not fumbling or anything, getting some first downs.
Mm-hmm.
Like each set of downs, 4 downs, 45 seconds each or whatever. What is that? Math? Who knows? It's unknowable, but it's a few minutes.
It is.
And then of the 50 seconds, like the play usually only lasts like 5 to 10 seconds. So I feel like much like baseball, there's a bit of downtime, which is fine. And I don't know. So it is like an American sport, and I feel like I should like it more than I do.
Yeah, I always get excited when that season comes. I'm like, okay, there's going to be stuff on the TV to watch constantly Mondays, Thursdays, Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And I like when the TV's on. I do. I like when there's noise in the house and something's playing and I can watch football because I understand it and have watched it for years. But
yeah. I'll watch a game too if it's on, but I don't know. It's just a sport that hasn't ever like really grabbed me. But Dolphins, they still have Tua?
Oh, they got Tua. Is
that the guy?
Mm-hmm.
Is he the quarterback?
He will be for 3 games until he gets tackled.
Does he go out for an injury often? Is that the thing?
He's had weird things where his body like locks up. He gets tackled and his hands like go like this and he's just like carried off the field. It's happened like multiple times and people have recommended that he just stop playing or almost forced him out of the league.
Oh wow.
But I don't know.
I wonder what that is.
If he never gets tackled, they'll do really well.
So they just can't ever get sacked.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. Yeah, football. Glad it's back, I guess. I'll probably, like most seasons, watch maybe one game and the Super Bowl. So 2 total games.
Heck yeah. It's content.
It's something.
It is something.
The problem is I'd rather be watching something else, like playing a video game. And maybe that's what I'll do. Like if I'll use my Rogue Ally, stream Silk Song from my PlayStation to the Ally while I watch a football game.
What a perfect day.
Problem is, if someone invites me over to watch a football game, I'm not going to watch a football game at home by myself because I'm not paying for like NFL League Pass or all this garbage.
No.
And so if someone is inviting me over, it might be a little rude if I like bring my Silk Song to their football party.
Yeah, maybe so. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Kind of a hard thing. Sorry, I feel like I interrupted you a lot, though. You were saying new things to you. Doing well. Football. Anything else, Devin, that's going on with you?
No. I just like occasionally watch movies. I'd like to go see the new Conjuring, even though some of them haven't been the greatest. I've seen all of the Conjurings, Insidious, Annabelle's, La Llorona, all these.
That series must have been very successful because they've done a lot of spin-offs.
They have, and like the characters overlap slightly, and I get really confused as to the timing of things, so I have to go to a website like IGN. Sometimes will have, this is chronological order of these 11 movies. I'm like,
wow,
oh, okay. And then I watch them all in order, and I'm like, it still didn't make sense to me because I was like eating popcorn and wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I'd like to go see the new Conjuring. I don't know what else is new.
Yeah.
Weeks after weeks, not too much.
Oh, that's good.
Not too much going on.
I think that's a good transition into our Super Movie Brothers segment here. I've seen the first Conjuring. Very creepy movie, in my opinion. But I haven't seen the... I did watch Annabelle as well, but I haven't seen the many sequels to those 2 series. Or, like you said, La Llorona or whatever.
Or Insidious.
I've seen Insidious.
Okay.
I think that one came first.
No idea.
And I don't think it's related. Or is it? Is it the same? The same dude is in it, but I don't think Vera Wang. Is that her name?
That's he's with Rose Byrne in the Insidious movies and is with the other chick.
The mom from Bates Motel.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's the same person in the same universe or what's going on there.
Vera Farmiga, I think.
But I don't care enough to know. I'm just going to go watch the new one.
Yeah.
And just accept it for what it is.
That first Insidious was had some creepy jump scares, but very odd. At the end, there's just like that hooved devil guy just hopping around, and I'm just like, what's
the
going
demons
on?
in those are very like Darth Maul looking devils with
Mm-hmm.
almost like tails.
Yeah.
And they're playing the piano and like
yeah.
It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Really strange.
I agree. For movies and TV this week for me, I haven't watched a ton, but Lacey and I are watching a new season of a show we really like called Alone. Basically 10 people get 10 items, and they're dropped off in some remote location, whether that be like a Arctic location or just somewhere that rains a lot, somewhere that's hard to survive, and they have to try and survive with those 10 items. Whoever survives the longest wins some amount of money. It's been like $100,000 before, $500,000 before. They might have even had $1 million season, but there's a season we haven't seen called Alone Australia.
Oh.
And it's 10 Australians that are dropped off in Tasmania, I think is where it is, which is an island, I believe, on the southeast corner of Australia. So it's like near Australia, but more southern. We like Alone. It's, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, but these people are really good at surviving. Like some of them get very, what's the word I'm looking for? I almost said ingenuitive, but I don't think that's a word.
It's a nice word.
Like very creative with the stuff they build. This guy on the season we're watching right now has built a kayak, and he goes out and kayaks trying to, and like has a fishing line behind him while he's kayaking. So they call that kind of fishing trolling, where like the hook is kind of dragging along to bait the fish. They've caught fish and eels. And then he has other fish lines. He has a trap system that he's made trying to catch these big like wallaby creatures called a patamelon or something like that. Looks like a big old fat rat.
Yeah, and some of those things are kind of cute, but
40 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're pretty big. There's also a lot of endangered animals there. Like there's platypus, but they're not allowed to hurt them. They have to actually watch their fishing lines at all times, because if a platypus gets wrapped in it, they have to try and save it. And there's Tasmanian devils.
Cool.
Anyways, but the show, since we really like Alone, has kind of spurred my question of the week, Devin. How long? The reward this season is $250,000, which is kind of a smaller one for this like Australia offshoot that they've done. But how long do you think you could be alone somewhere like that if you knew you would catch at least a fish every other day? So like you're not starving to death. Some of these people come with very different strategies. This one lady, it's like, I gained as much weight as possible before I got here. That way I just have excess fat and I can just burn it. And some of them like don't eat for like 3 weeks, and they're just burning and burning, and like they're losing like 3 pounds a day. But they had so much extra that like they're okay. The stomach hunger pains are probably terrible, but they're surviving. And then others try to be more skilled at like catching food and trapping. And the one dude was smoking his eel from like, made this smoking tent above his campfire and put the eels up top. Very crazy. So how long do you think you could be alone if you had at least a somewhat okay little shelter with your fire? You've got water that you're boiling to clean, but you are literally alone here. The closest other participant is usually like 7 miles away, so you'll never find them, and I don't think you're allowed to anyways. It's kind of like, that is the thing that gets most people, is the mental game.
Yeah, it's not even the dangers of the environment.
I mean, a lot of these people
seem very solid and prepped in their minds.
Yeah. Have you watched much of the show?
Yes. And like 40 days or 60 days, they're like, I miss my family so much. And I'm like, get it together, earn the money. But if I was out there, I can be pretty mentally strong and completely change my mindset to be pretty positive and enjoy most things. But I think that's what everybody thinks. And then they get out there and I just if you give me streaming services or something, I'm out there. I'm out there, and I might win.
Yeah, you got nothing.
Because I'm just like movies. But
Devin watches 1,000 movies, realizes he's been out there for 110 days.
yeah, everyone left at 30 days except for me.
Yeah.
No, I realistically I want to say maybe I get 3 weeks.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I get scared. Maybe there are some nights where I'm scared. I'm like, it's pitch black. I'm in the middle of nowhere. This is weird.
This one's not too bad as far as like fear, because like some of the other seasons, like there's been a really big threat of like bears or mountain lions.
Yeah.
But here in Tasmania, like there's not an animal that's going to kill them. So I don't think most of them are afraid. I think it said like the Tasmanian devil could like bite you, scratch you up pretty good. But thing, again, like weighs 30 pounds and is it's 2 feet tall. Like it's not gonna kill you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 3 weeks. I don't think I'm winning the money. I think I do okay if I know how to catch the stuff and skin stuff, and that's not making me woozy, and like the food's not an issue, and I'm not feeling sick all the time. Sure, I can hang out there for a bit. I've spent a lot of my time alone. I lived alone for a long time, many years of my life.
Yeah.
But I could walk outside in that scenario and see people if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't stressed out about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard. I feel like if I had set up the fishing or some kind of food source well enough where I knew I was going to get some food, at least like every day to every other day or something, I think I could go until I think I could go for 100 days.
Ooh,
but
wow.
I don't know for sure. I'm not like a big outdoors person, which
you might win the money at that point.
Wouldn't help me much. I just, the thing that gets everybody is they start to think about it too much, and they're like,
the deep thinking.
The deep thinking gets you. They're like, I can, and what I think it is your brain is really good at tricking you. Mm-hmm. That's like what anxiety and stress comes from. It's like we think the worst case scenario. Oh, I have to do something that's really not that bad. I have to go to the DMV. I know the DMV worker is going to like stab me when I get there or something.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
So we stress about dumb things. Or I have to give a talk at church. I know that everyone is going to like hate me after we think.
Well, of course they will.
Yeah. Our brains like are kind of programmed to protect us. And it does it in like a weird way that stresses us out, makes us anxious. And I think what gets people is they get there and they get really hungry. And then their brain is like, what can I do to get them out of here, push the button to go home where I know I can eat in like an hour. And so it just sends them everything. Okay, you miss your family. You don't need this money. All you need is your family.
You were doing just fine before.
You were doing. What have you got to prove? You've already
got to prove.
They say that a lot. I don't have anything left to prove out here. I've done what I came to do. And so I think your brain takes you down that spiral really fast, and then there's almost no coming out of it. I think the way you have to look at it if you want to win is I have to pretend that every day I'm out here, someone's paying me $10,000. And like, how many days could I stay out here for $10,000 a day? A lot. Like if I knew someone was paying me $10,000 right now, I'd go in my backyard in a tent and not talk to my family for a year.
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and if you won, that is kind of how the math would come out. Is like, okay, I was here for 100 days, but I won $250,000. What's that divided by 100? Is that $2,500?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the alone seasons.
The math was kind of there.
I don't think any of the alone seasons have gotten to 100 days.
Yeah.
I think one of them got to the 80s. We're in like day 25, and there's only 3 people left. So I don't think this one's gonna go past 35 days.
And if everyone leaves except one person, do they just go get the one person, or do they just let them stay out there? Until they tap
they
out?
do get them. They usually let them stay an extra day, just to like see, and then they fly their family in is probably what they're using that time for. But yeah, there's no time limit. It's just whoever stays the longest, and then once everyone else is gone, like after a day or so, they'll come and tell that person they won. But I think for like the first 40, 50 days, I could let that logic get me through. Like, this is day 39, but I've made $10,000 a day.
Yeah, I think you'd have to be really passionate and kind of live with purpose out there also. You have to wake up and stay busy.
Yeah, like have a plan of like, okay, I'm going to build this today.
Yeah, this will be really convenient for me. I'm going to make it super cool. Let's spend 4 days on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of laying on the cot going, I wonder when everyone else is leaving.
Mm-hmm.
That just kills you.
Yeah, it really would. That brain has to be kept so busy because you will just destroy yourself. What's my family doing? When I get back, my kids aren't going to like me anymore. I need to go home now.
They've relocated already.
Yeah. Fun show. I like it quite a bit because of this. But I watch people and man, there was this guy on this season. He was doing really good. He caught like 3-4 fish, like 3-4 days in a row. So he's like crushing it. But he served in Iraq and had like a little bit of PTSD. And he said, like, I've been doing a lot of good things. I feel like I've really started to manage it pretty well. But I guess the area in Tasmania they're in sometimes has helicopters fly over to like survey the land, just to like see how plants are changing and stuff. And they had a day where helicopters flew over like 3-4 times. And it just like sent him into a spiral because I guess he like lived next to a helipad in the war. Man, just something so little. Just you were crushing it with food. Mm-hmm. Just sent him and he went home like the next morning. So it is crazy. The mind. To conquer the mind, I think, is to conquer life.
Agreed. I think that's been a big part of my life.
Yeah,
I have a big old focus on that. And I struggle a lot of times with it, but I do believe that is the key to most things.
I do too. It's a hard one. I've always loved this little book. It's called As a Man Thinketh. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, is kind of the premise. But it is hard. You get out there and start thinking something bad, and it's just such a hard thing to train. Like, how do I keep my thoughts like always positive? I don't think that's possible.
I think you can get close.
Or you can like build some good ways to, okay, I can feel them going negative. What's like my set pattern to do these 5 steps that will get them back to positive again?
I have the strat to win alone.
Okay.
You catch a wombat and you have it as a pet. You don't eat it. And then you tell it all your feelings.
Therapist.
Therapist.
Wombat therapist.
Therabat.
Yeah. And then after you win, you come home with the wombat and he'll be a world sensation because he'll just be like a board certified therapist. At that point, he'll have a trench coat,
set up glasses. His own practice.
Yeah. That's how you win. Heard it here first, folks. All right. Well, that's going to do it for Question of the Week and Super Movie Brothers here. And that's going to take us into the show. So let me go over to the screen, which I always forget to change over to the correct screen here. But please check us out on patreon.com/supergamebrothers. On our Patreon, you can get early access to all of our shows, both of the podcasts, some exclusive perks as well, writing into the show, voting on the games we play. We've been playing a lot of and talking about Hollow Knight on Super Game Brothers podcast, and on the Gaming Top Down podcast, Devin's been pulling games off my shelf of shame. Those have been fun to look at. And little spoiler for today, I actually played one of the ones that he pulled off. So he's helping me to unshamify my shelf over there.
I'm helpful.
We also have a giveaway on our website, supergamebrothers.com. So please join that if you want to win some good stuff. Totally free to enter. All right, that's going to bring us to the main portion of the show. This is the Gaming Top Down podcast, a weekly podcast all about the board games that we are playing. Devin, this week I played 2, and then we're going to do another Shelf of Shame video. So you've chosen a game off of my shelf of shamefulness. But first, let's talk about the 2 games that I played this week. And then after we talk about them, I would love to hear from you, Padawan.
Ooh.
if they're games that you would play.
Mm-hmm.
First one, kind of a funny little story. We did Shelf of Shame last week, and this is the game Devin chose, Spotlight, where you use these fun little flashlights to kind of do like a Where's Waldo race, and everybody is looking on their own boards. And I played this game with my wife, and then with my wife and my kids. And so I thought I'd just really quick give some first impressions on it, because we really enjoyed it. I think the main hook is very hooky. The main hook of being looking at these different maps with these flashlights works really, really well. We kind of showed this last week in our video, but again, just very cool that it works at all. And it does. I would say I would play in a room that's not super well lit, because in our room here with these very big lights above us, I can see too much of the rest of the image, where you really want to be limited to only kind of be able to see what's in the flashlight. How the game works as a game, you can play it two ways. You can play cooperatively or competitively. We played both because we played with my young kids, and so cooperatively for them was maybe a little less, I don't know, heartburn. But I like the competitive mode. Basically, everybody has their own flashlight, has their own little dial, and has their own little character that goes on this track here. And let me just put a couple on here so we can pretend. Then there's this deck of cards, and we'd shuffle this up, and you do 5 rounds, and then whoever got the most points after the 5 rounds wins. So let's just say this was our card for this round. It is this pirate lady. So now Devin and I would flip over this sand timer. I think it's 1 minute. It's not a lot of time. And frantically look for this pirate lady. She might be in a slightly different pose, but that is what she'd look like on our pages, to try and find her as many times as we could. I've seen her once, twice. I think I saw Devin do a couple points over there, so I think he's found her a few more times.
Only 3.
Okay, so let's pretend we're out of time now. Then what we do is both of us take our dial and we put in how many times we saw the person. So I did 2 and Devin did 3. Then after everyone's done that, we reveal those, and then we flip the card over, and it shows, hey, you almost found them all. There are 4. And kind of crazy how they did this, but there are the same number of the character on all 5 boards, always. And it even shows you on the different boards exactly where they are with the black dots. If the number you saw is less than the total, then you get points equal to the number of stars. So Devin found 3, so he got 2 stars worth of points, so he'd get to move 2 spots. Boom. I only found her twice, so I would only get 1 star. I moved there, so Devin would be beating me. If you get it exactly right at 4, then you get 1 bonus star. If this is I think one of the smartest parts and one of the trickiest parts, if you say a number higher than
they needed that mechanic,
the number, then you get nothing.
Yep.
And the reason that gets tricky is because some of these, like this mushroom, is on the boards 9 times. And you can see here, some of them are very close together. That becomes tricky because you are looking around like crazy pretty fast, and I see one here and I'm trying to be thoughtful, and I maybe see another one, and then I come back here, I'm like, oh crap, I see another one. Did I already count it? So you lose count kind of as the page disappears between your flashlight. That, like you said, that mechanic is super important, or else you could just start to say numbers higher than you actually saw, but you're penalized for it. So love that. And so it's really fun when you get it exact, because you're like, wow, I guess I saw all of them. And there were a couple times where I was certain, like I said 6 or something, And then the card only showed 5. I was like, no, I know I saw 6, but I must have double counted one of them. And I'm not sure which one I double counted, but that is part of the trickiness of the game, is trying to keep them straight in your board. There's also a catch-up mechanism you can use where whoever is in the lead at the end of a round has to flip their flashlight to the low battery side, which is a smaller white area. So for them, it'll be a little bit trickier to see more of the board at a single time. So that was kind of helpful as well, because my wife is really good at like this kind of I Spy kind of game. So she was just crushing us, but having her flashlight be low battery was helpful. If you play cooperatively, then this like bedtime moon chases you, and you're trying to not let anyone get caught up to by the moon, and you roll this moon die. It works pretty well cooperatively. I think I like it better competitively. And man, just such a cool game. My wife loved it. My kids loved it. There is also, if you start to get really good at it, you can trade boards, because every board is a different portion of this big image. And then you can start to play the ultra advanced version, where everyone gets this card, and based on, I don't remember exactly how you choose. Maybe these are face down and you choose one of them. That must be what you do. But this one says like no triangle. And what that means is this little triangle or a diagram here. So I would want to know how many mushrooms are on my board, not including any mushrooms that are in the triangle quadrant. So the top right corner. And then probably on the lines, that can get a little blurry too of that. So there is that like ultra advanced play mode as well, where you can start to do that. Man, so cool. I think with those changes they made to like the low battery mode and this quadrant thing, you can play this with adults and have like a great time and not feel like it's just a dumb kids game. So we really enjoyed it. Super positive impressions here at the beginning. And there is so many cards, like, and the ones with hearts on them they recommend for kids because there's like easier things to recognize. But so many cards. I think you could play this for a long time before you are like, oh, we got the pig again. But you won't remember from last time. How many did the pig have? So it is important probably that you keep these cards like face up so that you're not looking at the numbers on the back too often. Only that one time. But wow, really loved it. And Devin, you did that. You did this.
Look at me go.
By choosing this game last week on the Shelf of Shame segment, you got me to play it.
I would like payment.
Yep, I'll send you $5 million as we agreed. But I don't know. Last week when we did the Shelf of Shame, I didn't explain the rules very well. But after kind of telling you the rules here, does that make you want to try it more or less? Like, you think the rule set seems okay for?
Based on your enthusiasm with it, I'm like, okay, I'm a little more curious.
Yeah.
But what you said at the end of this being a kid's game, that was my initial and recurring thought.
Yeah.
During most of that until the end.
Yeah, I agree. That is kind of why I bought it, was to try out a weird I Spy game with my kids. But surprisingly, I think me and my wife had just as much fun as my kids did. So that's a pretty glowing with the flashlight pun.
Oh.
Not on low battery mode, but a full battery glowing, like, first impressions, maybe even like kind of a mini review here for Spotlight. So check that one out. Brought to you by Devin.
That's me.
All right, the other game I played this week, I played with my wife. This one is in a very small box from All Play. It's called Sail. And this game is really cool. I feel like I'm not smart enough for these kinds of games often, but this genre being called trick-taking games. And we'll talk about that in a second. But in this game, you're working together in order to, I almost said fly, sail, hence the name of the game, your ship to the end of the board. It is cool. They have a pretty big board here that you just kind of slide together from these pieces, then looks like a pretty cool long board. Your ship starts on the very end of the board and here, and this Kraken meeple goes here, and you have 5 rounds in order to sail your ship all the way to like the end goal of the scenario. There's a bunch of different scenarios. My wife and I played the learning first scenario just to learn. Each of them has a different layout with like different types of things: Kraken pieces, island pieces, starting pieces where the storm is, and then a varying like length of how far you have to get, because you have to get to this in order to win. The way that you do that is, and I'll put some of these on the board, I guess, where you've got islands that you can't run into, Kraken pieces that if you do run into, they do a damage to your ship. The way you do it is you sit across from each other and you both get 9 cards, and these cards are in 3 different suits, like a gray, a green, and a blue. And the cards have numbers from 1 to 9 on them, and then the cards also have icons on them. They'll be, what's a steering wheel of a ship called? The helm.
Right on the helm.
The helm symbol, the Kraken symbol. The 9 of each suit has a mermaid symbol on it. And then there is some with a cannon symbol. Devin has them on the 4s and 5s. So at the start of each round, we both get 9 cards, and then we pass 1 card to each other. Let's say you gave me that one. I gave you this one just for kicks and giggles. You'd probably be a bit more strategic with that when you start. And then whoever goes first will play a card. So play any card, Devin. Okay, so Devin played this 5. So now, much like a trick-taking game, I have to follow the suit, or in this case, the color. If I can, I have greens, so I have to play a green. He played a green 5. Let's say I'm going to play this green 3. So now the trick is done. Devin won because he played the higher number of the lead color. But before he takes the trick and marks down here that he won the trick, each combination of those icons does something different, and they have these really nice player aids that show what all of them do. Let's just show this card here. You can see with the symbols that we did, which is a cannon and this Kraken card, it means we get to put 1 card back in the bottom of the Kraken deck. This Kraken deck is basically just these cards wouldn't ever be there, but some cards that dictate if the Kraken caught up to us. And if we ever get to the bottom of this deck and that card is the only card left in the Kraken deck, then we lose. So filling that deck with more cards is helpful because some of them are going to be purged out of it. Anytime we take damage, we have to take a card out of this. So we'd put this card back in the Kraken deck. Hooray. So now it's on the bottom. We won't lose as easily. And that was our first trick of this round. Devin won, so he would lead again, actually. Okay, that's a good example. He did that 1 of gray. It has the helm and the Kraken. I'm going to play this 7. So now I've won this trick. So we both won 1 in this round. This one has 2 helms and a Kraken. With 2 helms, you get to move. With 2 helms and a Kraken, we get to move, but we take 1 damage as well. So this card for our damage would go into the discard pile over here. So we're a little bit closer to losing to the Kraken, but we also got to move. Whichever player wins the trick, let's say I was on this side and you're over here, the boat would move 1 spot diagonally towards me. If you had won the trick, it would move 1 spot diagonally towards you. So that's how you're moving your ship around, trying to, again, avoid obstacles, get to the end. the other way that one way that the round can end is if any one person wins 4 tricks. We have 9 cards, so we'd like to play as many combinations as we can. So you want to split up who's winning the tricks if you can, so that you can play more hands in a round, so that you're moving more and that kind of thing. The tricky part with the mermaids is they're very handy, because if you're ever able to both play a mermaid, then the ship gets to move 1 spot straight, which is kind of like 2 movements. But to do that, if I was going to play this 9, for example, since I won the last trick, now Devin's forced to play blue if he has a blue. And unfortunately he does. But if he didn't have any blue, then he could play that green, or not that one, the gray 9 mermaid. And then we have played a set of matching mermaids. So before you play your mermaid, you want to be pretty sure that you have purged all of the rest of the cards of that color from your teammate's hand. So that's tricky. We actually didn't pull the mermaid off, Lacey and I, when we were playing. But you have to get to the end by the end of 5 rounds. If you die to the Kraken, you lose. And there is actually one other loss condition. At the start of round 3, when you get here, you'll see this cloud symbol, and you have to be completely past a certain distance at the start of round 3, or else you lose as well. So you have to move at a pretty good clip along the way. So that's just the starting scenario. I know that there's 5 different scenarios here in the base game that become a bit longer with more stuff in your way. You also both have a pirate ability that you can use like once per round, or some of them have this trophy symbol, meaning that you can use at any time you won the trick. So they help you out as well. And yeah, I think that's basically the whole game. There's also, I got that little mini expansion. So there's some other things that can come out, like a whirlpool and a crow's nest. And we haven't gotten far enough to know what those mean when they're on the map, but I'm guessing that some of them might help you, some of them hurt you. This is an ally ship, whirlpool, crow's nest. So I think it's really fun. I'm not great at trick-taking games, but I think that they are a fun time trying to figure out, what does my teammate have in their hand? You don't know everything perfectly, because there will be some cards left in the deck after you deal the 9 cards to everybody. But it's pretty simple. The time on the box says 20 minutes. And we were a little slow our first game, trying to figure out like how strategic we should be, how much we should be looking through the discard pile, and figuring out exactly what cards my teammate has or not. We maybe were a little bit long with that, but I think it took us about half an hour. So anyways, pretty positive first impressions of Sail. Again, just really love the variety of experiences that All Play has in their tiny little games in these small little boxes. So Devin, as I put this one away, is that one intriguing to you to play, or?
Much more than the first game, for sure. I do like that you're kind of working together, and to avoid obstacles, you almost want to take turns winning.
Yeah.
Because when someone wins and they're able to move in that turn, you might accidentally run into things.
Yep, you have to be pretty purposeful.
And there's a lot of mechanics like that.
Yep.
Yes, purposefully play every single turn based on the limited information that you have about what they are holding.
Yep.
Because I assume you cannot share that info, or it would ruin the game.
That's right. Once you can talk between rounds, but once you start the round and deal the cards out, you can no longer talk to each other. I'm very, very picky with cooperative games, because I don't know. It's just not my favorite genre. But I think this one's really cool. I think it being a pretty short play helps. And I like trick taking. And even because you don't have perfect information, even if you make a mistake, like, your teammate's not expecting you to be perfect, because it's impossible for you to know exactly what's in their hand, you could maybe make like a pretty good guess. But because of that, there's a bit less, I don't know, meanness. If like your teammate makes a mistake, you're just like, it is what it is. It was a short game. We did our best, even if we lost. Like, there's no hard feelings. Where I feel like some cooperative games that are a bit longer, or if you did have like better information, I put that in backwards. Let's see if I can fix it. Oh, look at me go.
Wow.
Would maybe not have the same vibe. So good first impression of Sail. Really like that one. All right. Back up here on our faces, Devin. We're going to end the Gaming Top Down podcast this week with the Shelf of Shame. Devin picks a game off my Shelf of Shame. There's some behind me and a lot over there. And then I tell him a little bit about it, why I got it, why I maybe haven't been able to play it yet, and why I'm excited to hopefully play it one day. Picked some good games lately. Even saw that last week's game, I was able to play it this week. So maybe that'll be a good omen here. Maybe I'll play this one as well. But what have you picked for me this week, Devin, which I think is Shelf of Shame number 5?
Number 5 already, huh?
If I'm not mistaken. Oh, Libertalia, Winds of Galecrest.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I just know a lot about Galecrest, so I decided to snag this one.
That makes sense. Oh, this one's cool. I think one of the first, going back down to the table here, one of the first reasons I wanted this game was because it's made by Stonemaier Games. And they made Wingspan and Apiary and Scythe and what's that worker placement game about the vineyard called? Viticulture. They've made some very famous games, especially Wingspan, which is like super famous the last 10 years. Not even 10, 5, 6 years. So they made the game. It's a remake of an earlier game that's supposed to be great. The designer, Paolo Mori, I really, really like his games. I have quite a few from him. So all those things together, I was like, great company, great designer, remake of a game people love. And it plays 6 players in 45 to 60 minutes. So it's a pretty short playtime. It's like, man, I think I need to try this one. It also has very cool components. So we'll look at some of those here. And so I think all of those things are kind of the reasons that I ended up getting the game. I haven't tried it yet, I think because I've had a couple game nights with 6 players, but like 1 or 2 of the players were not like the right fit. I don't think for this game. This game is a little more complex than like if we're gonna play what's a good 6 like Edo or something, where you're just kind of laughing and having a good time. There's a little more involved, where every player has money you're trying to earn, and you each have your own deck of cards. That's like a big deck of 40 unique cards, and you have your own little board here, and there's a bit more of a teach that goes on with this game. But man, such a cool looking game, and the vibe is just super, super cool. And I think one of the main things, see if I can remember how to play, is the main problem we're probably going to have, but because I haven't read the rulebook in probably a year, which means
those pieces are pretty though.
Yeah, little Starburst pieces. Which means I've had this game on my Shelf of Shame for like over a year, which makes me a little bit sad. But I do want to play it. Basically, everyone has the same 40 cards, and they're characters that have numbers in the corner from 1 to 40. And at the beginning of the game, I think everyone starts with the same like 7 or 8 in their hand. But then everyone, I think, has shuffled the rest of their deck, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think everyone always, a certain subset of the cards will be chosen, and everyone's playing with the same cards. So because of that, you know what cards your opponents have, but trying to remember which ones they've already used and whatnot is kind of part of the game. And I think another reason I haven't tried it is the game can be a little bit mean in that you're playing cards sometimes to better yourself and really hurt somebody else. But the pirate theme kind of goes along with that. But just kind of this governor card, for example, discard all characters from your ship, gain 1 reputation for each character discarded in that way. And sometimes you'll do that things like that to other players. Like the owner of the rightmost character on the island gives you 2 gold and gains a reputation. I think a couple unique things about the game. Everybody plays a card, and then based on what number order they're in, or was played, I think that's the order that they go in, if I remember correctly. So let's just pretend that it was like this, and I don't know, that wouldn't work. 27, 28, and 23. Then the abilities on the cards are activated from left to right, but then back from right to left. So any of them that have a sun icon get activated here. Then any of them that have a sunset ability get activated on the way back. And so some of them will let you like shift these around, take loot, which are these from another player's ship. And I think if you're taking these, they do very specific things. You like trade in sets of map tokens for points, or gain money, lose money. And so these will be out here. I'm not explaining this very well, but basically,
you're killing it.
You're activating the cards. You're taking the loot. If you like win the day, you're going to get better and more loot. And then you're trying to convert it into doubloons that you keep in your treasure chest in order to win. So a little bit of a not tricky, but more thoughtful like card game where you're trying to see, okay, I played this card last turn that hurt my opponent and really helped me. I don't think Devin's played it yet. So this round, he might play that same card. If he does, I'll be in trouble. Do I change my strategy because of that? It's supposed to be excellent. Like I said, kind of plays a high player count quickly. And I really like the artwork as well. So I think those are kind of the reasons that I went for it. Love these pieces as well.
You got root beer pieces in there.
Oh yeah, the root beer barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Got maps. What's this? Saber. Amulet. Where's this guy? Oh, right here. Chests. Hooks. Relics. And amulets. Yeah. Very, very cool looking. I need to reread the rule book because I obviously don't perfectly remember.
I'm impressed you remembered as much as you did.
Oh, thanks.
Like going forward then backwards, I can see this game being pretty dang strategic, especially after multiple plays of understanding when the abilities get used. And
yeah, you're also keeping track of like your reputation, like among the pirate crews. And I think like certain things will push it up and down. You can push other people's reputation up and down. If it gets to the end and it would go down again, then I think you like lose money. And I think at the end of the game, you might have to like pay off your reputation or something. So people with a worse reputation have to pay more of their money to pay it back. So I don't know. It's supposed to be great, but since I haven't tried it, it's a little hard to explain the vibe of the game. But
yeah.
Looking at the pieces and the cards and my crappy explanation, Devin, would you want to try or have any interest in playing Libertalia Winds of Galecrest?
If it's not too difficult and after the teach, it's making a decent amount of sense to me, I would prefer to play this game over both of the other two from today.
Okay. It does have a cool aesthetic.
Yes, the aesthetic's very good.
Yeah, I agree.
It's very, very pretty.
That was one of the main selling points. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, every game should have these like nice domino, mahjong.
Yeah. They're printed on both sides. They look edible, but they're not. Don't eat them.
You can try.
But I agree. I do think they look very cool. So, good pull from the Shelf of Shame, Devin. I'll try to play this one next time we've got a few people playing, because I think it is best at like 4, 5, and 6. Maybe 3 as well. But anyways, that's Libertalia Winds of Galecrest. And that's going to do it for the Gaming Top Down podcast this week for episode 69. Thanks so much for watching. Yeah, listening. And please make sure to check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers, where you can get early access to the podcast and the other podcasts about video games. You can write into the show, vote on the games that we play and try out. You can maybe even vote on if I should play this game one time. That'd be fun. And make sure to check out Devin on Twitch. He's player 4 over there, plays lots of live video games. Always a fun time over there, lots of laughing. And we'll see you next week for episode number 70 of the Gaming Top Down podcast. Till then, have a good one.